This man claims that Bigfoot kidnapped him and made him the weirdest house guest in history. I'm Patrick, and welcome back to LoveLeigh Adventures. What if I told you a man was once kidnapped by Bigfoot and lived to tell the tale? This isn't just some internet creepypasta. This is an actual story of Albert Ostman, a Canadian prospector who claimed he was abducted by a family of Sasquatches and held captive for 6 full days. Yep, this one's wild, and you're about to hear every strange, unbelievable detail. But first, a quick shout out to Dark Matter P5U, one of our awesome subscribers. Thanks for joining the adventure. We see you. And if you want a shout out in the next video, just hit that subscribe button and say hey in the comments. Now, let's head deep into the woods. Albert Ostman wasn't a hoaxer or a storyteller. He was a prospector and lumberjack, the kind of guy who lived in the wilderness. In 1924, he set off on a solo gold hunting trip near Tofino, British Columbia, chasing rumors of a hidden gold mine. What he found instead, something more mysterious. A few nights into his trip, Ostman started noticing something was messing with his camp. Food was disturbed, supplies were shifted, and he chalked it up to bears until one night, while sleeping in his sleeping bag, he was picked up and carried away, still zipped in. He said he was dragged for hours through dense forest, unable to see or move until he finally blacked out. Then he woke up and things got really weird. Ostman found himself in a hidden mountain valley surrounded by 4 enormous creatures, a family of what he described as Sasquatches. There was a huge male, a female, and 2 smaller ones like Bigfoot teenagers. The adult male was over 8 feet tall, extremely muscular, and clearly in charge. They didn't harm him. Instead, they watched him, fed him roots, and seemed oddly curious. He believed they were trying to study him like he was the strange creature in their world. For 6 days, Ostman lived among the creatures. They gave him food, they mimicked his actions, and they would not let him leave. He communicated using gestures, watched their behavior, and slowly began to understand their routines. He even thought they had their own kind of primitive language, more than just grunts. But he knew one thing: he had to escape. Ostman noticed that the big male was fascinated by his snuff box, powdered tobacco, so he gave it to him. The creature swallowed a massive dose and quickly became violently sick. Y'all know what that's like. Disoriented and stumbling. This was Ostman's moment. He grabbed his pack and bolted into the forest, eventually making his way back to civilization after days of hiking through the wilderness. Ostman didn't tell anyone for over 30 years. He finally went public in 1957 when Bigfoot reports were becoming more common. He gave detailed interviews, never changed his story, and even took a lie detector test, which he passed. Skeptics called it a hoax. Others said it was a hallucination. But believers point out how consistent his account was and how calmly and seriously he told it. Even now, over a century later, his story is still one of the most detailed Bigfoot encounters ever recorded. So was Albert Ostman really kidnapped by Bigfoot, or was this just a tall tale from a man who spent too much time in the woods? Either way, it's one of the strangest wilderness survival stories ever told, and it keeps the Bigfoot mystery alive to this day. If you enjoyed this story, like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. And once again, thank you to Dark Matter P5U for being part of this adventure. More stories like this are coming your way. Until next time, stay curious, stay skeptical, and don't forget to pack light. Just maybe not the snuff.